My name is Pradeep Goel. I'm the CEO of Solve.care. It is indeed my pleasure and honor to be here today. I want to thank the Global Blockchain Association team for doing a magnificent job of organizing these events and for helping orchestrate the adoption of blockchain in government and in healthcare and many other promising sectors. It is my honor to address you all today, and I look forward to meeting many of you in person tomorrow. I'm on my way to Washington, D.C., so I hope that we will interact tomorrow in person. I want to talk about three things today. A little bit about what blockchain can do, why it matters, how we have used blockchain in healthcare, and what the future holds. So very quickly, 5 minutes. So first, what is blockchain really bringing to the table? I want you to understand three things. Blockchain is a reliable source of information. You hear words like immutability. All that means is that when something is written to the blockchain, it cannot be erased easily. So it becomes a very reliable source of information. Think of it as built-in auditability. The second thing is that blockchain is easily shared. It has this property called replication, but the end game is that people can access blockchain easily and they can have access to information far easier than a centralized database. And the third thing is that blockchain can be intelligent. There are things called smart contracts, essentially decision rules that can be automatically executed based on the data written to the blockchain. So it's a reliable source of information that auditors and program administrators and regulators and any entity who needs to verify that things did happen as they were told and expected to happen are happening. So it's reliable in terms of source of information. It's easily shared. And it is intelligent in the sense that it can act upon the data written to the blockchain. So now when you take these properties and you think about healthcare, which is where SolveCare is focused, then we think about what is the value proposition. So now in healthcare, it's often every transaction is an ABC transaction. What does that mean? Meaning that A goes to get services from B and C has to do something either to approve it or pay for it. And sometimes there is a D and an E party that needs to understand what happened, when happened, and why happened. So healthcare requires coordination. And the properties of blockchain that I just mentioned makes it easier to coordinate benefits, to administer healthcare, and to pay for it. And we can do that in a manner that is more efficient and addresses the actual objectives of the program. Now, I have worked in both commercial and public programs in healthcare. Ranging from insurance to Medicare to Medicaid, CHIP, SNAP, TANF, and many other programs. And coordination, administration, payment, auditability are always underlying objectives and measures of success and performance. And blockchain makes it a lot easier. Now, let me give you some real examples. So let's take the example of Medicaid transportation management. Transportation is a benefit offered by Medicaid programs and administered by every state. And in this program, patient A needs to go see Dr. B, and administrative entity C has to issue some kind of an authority or a voucher allowing patient A to get a ride with taxi driver D. So you have an ABCD problem where everybody needs to stay in sync, and no matter what happens, the right action should be taken. And that requires today a lot of manual effort, and it also leads to avoidable cost and utility and misutility of this program. Now, if you take blockchain and you use it in an intelligent way, you can enforce all the events that need to happen between A and B, patient and doctor and the authorizing agent, and then the transportation service provider, all of those events to happen in the right sequence and the right decisions to be taken. The end result is lower cost, improved access to care, elimination of fraud, waste, and abuse, and most importantly, achieving the goal of the subsidy, which is to get the patient to the doctor so they can get the care on a timely basis so that we can reduce the overall cost of care and we can reduce the overall human suffering. So this kind of a solution where you are coordinating benefits more effectively between ABCD party, handling cancellations and ensuring that the transportation voucher is linked to an actual appointment event and that the payment is only made when the patient does show up. All those things can be fully automated through the blockchain. And that's one of the use cases that we have implemented. Let's take another use case. And that would be, let's say, we're dealing with a dual eligible population, somebody who is eligible for both Medicare and Medicaid benefits. In that scenario, we have to deal with the fact that when patient A goes to see Dr. B, then entity C is responsible for the first dollar and entity D is responsible for the second dollar. And those liabilities or responsibilities kick in when certain events take place, but they don't kick in when certain events don't take place. So we do this enormous amount of work and effort around coordination of benefits, highly manual, highly paper intensive, all with the intention that the right party pays the right bill at the right time. That can again be solved as an ABCD problem on the blockchain. You can easily set up a certain set of rules where certain events need to happen between A and B for C to become responsible, and certain events need to happen between B and C for the D to become responsible. And that becomes a lot easier problem to solve than the current model that we do that has been prevalent for the last many decades. Let's look at a third example of a blockchain use case in healthcare. That would be around chronic disease management. Now, whenever we have a chronic disease, we have multiple specialties involved. Let's say diabetes. You're going to have a primary care physician. You're going to have an endocrinologist. You're going to have a pharmacist, potentially a dialysis agent or an agency. You're going to have a therapist. And many parties get involved in care. But they have to share some kind of a common set of rules. They have to share some kind of a common care protocol on which they're all operating. Otherwise, you'll have chaos and you'll have excessive cost, but not the results we want. So in blockchain, you can create a care ledger, which allows A, B, C, D, E parties to stay in sync through a care ledger. And they can take action based on events that are happening or not happening, but none of them are singularly in charge of the care, but they all agree to the care protocol and they follow it. So now we end up with a much better use of the dollars, the time, and the availability of physician and specialty care provider. And most importantly, the patient stays engaged in understanding what needs to be done. So this is an ABCDEF problem. Again, you can solve that a lot more easily on blockchain than if you were trying to connect everybody's EMR and disease management systems to each other. So one of the key advantages of blockchain in healthcare in particular is that it reduces the dependency on system-to-system interoperability as a requirement for effective care. Now a little bit about SolveCare. I started this company 4.5 years ago with the idea that we are going to use the quadruple aim of improving access to care, improving outcomes of care, reducing the cost while improving the value of the dollar invested, and improving the care experience for both patient and doctor is our North Star. I've been in healthcare for 30+ years, and I wanted to do something that would fundamentally alter the equation in favor of humanity. And in that regard, what we have been able to do is to build a platform that uses blockchain to bring very innovative and powerful healthcare solutions to market. And we are doing that not just because we have the innovative capability, but because we are working with innovators around the world continuously. Those who are innovating in the blockchain space, those who are innovating in the care management space, those who are innovating in the payment administration space. And we have been fortunate enough to have a global community work with us to develop this very powerful platform. In a nutshell, we are aspiring to be the Salesforce.com of healthcare, where you can quickly build very powerful digital health, benefit administration, payment administration, and care coordination solutions, and do so at a fraction of the cost and time it takes to do it otherwise. I look forward to speaking to as many of you as possible tomorrow when I'm in Washington, D.C., and I look forward to exploring ideas that you might have in how blockchain can help you streamline your operations, bring better auditability, visibility, control, and ultimately serve the patient and the doctor better so that we can have a more effective and humane society. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and I'll see you soon.